Hey there, friends. If you've been watching The Soil House for any length of time, you know I'm all about building amazing garden beds without breaking the bank. Today, I want to share one of my absolute favorite techniques that's going to revolutionize the way you think about creating new growing space. We're talking about using cardboard to build massive, productive soil beds for literally nothing out of pocket. No expensive lumber, no costly raised bed kits, just good old cardboard and some materials you probably already have lying around. I stumbled onto this method years ago when I was staring at a patch of stubborn lawn that I desperately wanted to convert into a vegetable garden. The thought of renting a sod cutter or spending days digging made my back hurt just thinking about it. That's when I remembered a giant stack of cardboard boxes in my garage and had one of those light bulb moments. What started as a lazy gardener's experiment has become my go-to method for expanding the Soil House garden every single season. Before we dive into the how-to, let's talk about why cardboard works so incredibly well for building garden beds. Cardboard is essentially compressed paper fiber, which means it's completely biodegradable and will break down into organic matter that feeds your soil. But here's the magic. It breaks down slowly enough to serve as an effective weed barrier while it's doing its job. When you layer cardboard on the ground, you're creating what gardeners call a sheet mulch, or the foundation for lasagna gardening. The cardboard blocks light from reaching any grass, weeds, or unwanted plants underneath, essentially smothering them without any chemicals or backbreaking labor. As those plants die off and decompose, they're actually adding nutrients back into your soil. Meanwhile, the cardboard itself becomes food for earthworms and beneficial microorganisms. I've laid cardboard over some of the most aggressive weeds you can imagine, including bindweed and Bermuda grass, and watched them surrender completely. The earthworms absolutely love working their way through decomposing cardboard, and within a few months, you'll find your soil beneath transformed into rich, crumbly goodness. Here's where this method gets even better. Cardboard is everywhere, and most businesses are thrilled to give it away for free. I've built relationships with local appliance stores, furniture shops, and bicycle shops because they receive large items in massive boxes and have to pay to have cardboard hauled away. You're literally doing them a favor by taking it off their hands. My best tip is to call ahead and ask when their delivery days are, then swing by the next morning. You want to grab those boxes before they get rained on or damaged. I always keep a stack of flattened cardboard in my garage or shed so I'm ready to build a new bed whenever inspiration strikes. Avoid cardboard with glossy printing, wax coatings, or excessive tape and stickers, though a little bit won't hurt anything. Plain brown cardboard is your absolute best bet. Moving companies are another fantastic source because they go through dozens of wardrobe boxes and dish pack boxes every single week. I've also had great success with grocery stores, especially in the produce section where banana boxes and other large containers pile up daily. Don't be shy about asking around your neighborhood either. People who've recently moved often have garages full of boxes they're eager to get rid of. Now let's get into the actual construction of your cardboard bed. First, you'll want to choose your location and mark out the dimensions of your new bed. I typically go at least 4 feet wide because that gives you easy reach from both sides without having to step into the bed and compact your beautiful soil. Length is totally up to you and your available space. Don't bother removing the existing grass or weeds. Seriously, just leave them right where they are. Mow or whack them down as short as possible if they're particularly tall, but that's it. This is the beauty of the method. You're working with nature rather than fighting against it. Those plants are about to become compost in place, feeding your new bed from below. Start laying your cardboard directly on top of the vegetation, making sure to overlap each piece by at least 6 inches. This overlap is absolutely critical because, well, any gaps will become superhighways for weeds to poke through. I usually wet down each layer of cardboard as I go with a garden hose. This serves two purposes. It keeps the cardboard from blowing away as you work, and it helps start the decomposition process immediately. For the cardboard layer, I aim for coverage that's at least 2 layers thick everywhere, and 3 or 4 layers at the overlaps. Don't worry about removing all the tape and labels. Small amounts will break down or can be pulled out later. However, do remove any large pieces of plastic tape or synthetic materials. Here's where your bed really starts to take shape. On top of your cardboard base, you're going to layer organic materials to create the actual growing medium. I call this building your soil sandwich, and just like a good sandwich, the order and quality of your ingredients matter. Start with a layer of nitrogen-rich green materials. This could be grass clippings, kitchen scraps, coffee grounds, or fresh plant material. Just spread this about 2 to 3 inches thick across your entire cardboard base. This layer is going to heat up as it decomposes, which helps break down the cardboard below and, kills off those weeds even faster. Next, add a layer of carbon-rich brown materials like dried leaves, straw, or wood chips. This layer should be about 4 to 6 inches thick. Browns are essential because they prevent your bed from becoming a smelly, compacted mess while providing food for beneficial fungi. I save all my fall leaves specifically for this purpose, running them over with a mulching mower to shred them up nicely. Now repeat this layering process. More greens, more browns, more greens, more browns. You want to end up with a finished height of at least 12 to 18 inches, because your bed is going to settle significantly as everything breaks down. I've built beds that started at 2 feet tall and settled down to about 14 inches over a few months. Top everything off with 3 to 4 inches of quality compost or finished soil. This is the only part of this method that might cost you anything, but even here you have options. Many municipalities offer free compost to residents. You just have to go pick it up. I've also had great success mixing my own compost with some bagged topsoil from the home improvement store, which is far cheaper than buying raised bed soil mix. This top layer is where you'll be planting immediately, so make it good. The materials below will break down and feed up into this layer over time, getting richer and deeper with each passing season. In fact, one of the things I love most about cardboard beds is that they actually improve year after year as everything underneath continues decomposing into beautiful humus. The absolute best time to build cardboard beds is in the fall. I know that sounds counterintuitive because you're not going to plant much right away, but hear me out. Fall gives all those layers time to start breaking down over winter, and by spring, you have incredibly rich, settled beds that are ready to plant. The cardboard will be mostly decomposed, the weeds underneath will be completely dead, and earthworms will have moved in and created perfect soil structure. That said, I've also built beds in spring and summer and planted into them immediately with great success. If you're building in spring, just make sure that top layer of compost is deep enough to give your plants a good root zone while everything underneath gets established. I've planted tomatoes, squash, and herbs in brand new cardboard beds and watched them thrive. Summer bed building works too, though you'll need to be more diligent about watering since everything will be breaking down faster in the heat. The advantage is that warm soil temperatures accelerate decomposition, so your bed will be fully established faster than winter builds. Once your bed is established and you've harvested your first crops, maintenance is incredibly simple. Just keep adding organic matter on top. I side dress with compost during the growing season and add a thick layer of mulch or leaves in fall. Every few years, I'll add another layer of cardboard on top and build up again if the bed has settled too much. But honestly, most of my oldest cardboard beds are still going strong after 5 years with just regular compost additions. The beautiful thing about this method is how easily you can expand. Want a bigger garden? Lay more cardboard. Want to connect 2 beds? Bridge them with cardboard and build up the space between. I've created entire garden areas this way, starting with a single 4x8 bed and expanding it piece by piece until I had a massive growing space that would have cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars if I'd built it with traditional materials. I need to be honest with you. I used to build traditional wooden raised beds, and I spent a small fortune doing it. Between the lumber, hardware, and soil to fill them, each bed cost me well over $100. And you know what? Those wooden beds started rotting after just a few years, even with cedar. Cardboard beds cost me nothing except my time, and that time investment is actually less than building wooden frames. There's no measuring, cutting, or fastening, no splinters or sore muscles from hauling lumber, and because the bed is built directly on the ground, your plants have access to the native soil below once their roots grow down, which means they're less likely to dry out and need constant watering. The environmental impact is so much better too. You're diverting waste from landfills, avoiding the carbon footprint of manufacturing lumber or plastic, and building soil health instead of just creating a container. Your garden becomes a closed-loop system where everything gets recycled back into fertility. I hope I've convinced you to give this method a try because it genuinely changed my gardening life. There's something deeply satisfying about transforming waste material into abundant food production, and every time I harvest vegetables from my cardboard beds, I get a little thrill knowing the whole thing cost me nothing but some sweat equity. The Soil House is all about making gardening accessible, productive, and sustainable, and this cardboard method embodies all three of those principles. Whether you're a complete beginner intimidated by the cost of getting started, or an experienced gardener looking to expand without spending a fortune, building with cardboard levels the playing field. If you found this article helpful, please subscribe to the Soil House YouTube channel, where I share regular videos showing these techniques in action. You'll see exactly how I layer materials, what my beds look like at different stages, and the incredible harvests they produce. And please share this article with your fellow gardeners because everyone deserves to know they can create amazing growing space without spending a dime. Let's build better soil together, one cardboard box at a time. Happy gardening, friends.